So as I record this, it's December 4th. And one of the things that I have been thinking about recently, even brought on by my recent realization anew during the US Turkey Day, that interruptions were causing me a lot of stress and like making my day feel unproductive, that I probably need to do some time tracking again. I need to look at where I'm actually spending my time in my day and how I can improve that so I'm spending focused time. So this is not specifically with my work hours, because I figured that out in 2012. There's actually a link in the blog post that goes with this. How to get my work hours. I get 5 hours a day, generally, almost always 6 actually. So I don't need to worry about that. And we're going to talk about time tracking, how I'm planning it for 2024, and how I'm going to use December as a trial. If you like content like this, you can go to my site, curtismchale.ca, become a member to support the channel, or to curtismchale.ca to grab a course if you want. So one of the biggest concerns I've had is specifically at night. I often get up at 5:30. My wife's finally coming home from work at between 7 and 9, depending on the night, and I'm making often the third dinner of the night. And in that time, when I get kids to bed around 7:30, and I'm waiting for an hour to be able to warm dinner again, so that she has a warm dinner, is a lot of mindless YouTube watching time. I don't think that watching YouTube is bad. I really don't think most activities are bad. You want to play video games, go for it. Just be intentional about it. And I want to be intentional about that time. And specifically, I think some of that time has been taken, or some of that YouTube mindless time is taken away from time where I could be reading books. That's something that I want to do in 2024, spend 5 hours a week, which seems reasonable to read a book. My second, like I said, it's my second concern really, is that I read 34 books this year, which is actually tons. Like lots of people, that's way more. People are, I'm sure, astonished that I read that many books. That is less than half of what I've normally read. I'll probably have 35 by the end of tomorrow. And I've been on a good reading kick as I've been looking at my time tracking. So I'm not concerned necessarily about how many books I read, but I just want to spend 5 hours a week reading books instead. And my third concern is the amount of quality time I spend with my kids. And we interact all the time, right? I'm, this morning getting them to school is, get your socks on. You're not dressed if you don't have your socks on. Unpack the dishwasher. Why are you running around in your pants with your pants off again? Stop that. But I also want to spend quality time with them. So something at night, I'm tired at the end of the day, and it's easy to just turn on the TV and let them watch TV. But even sitting there and doing dishes with them, like doing dishes and chatting with them and enjoying their company, is a quality time endeavor. It's something that I enjoy, something that I get value out of as well. So I want to make sure that I do more of that and that I can dive in with them, spend more time with them, and interact with them better. That's my goal. So that's how I'm going to track some of my time. For my December, I have a trial run. I started kind of on the weekend while I was away with my one daughter, which actually meant I got a lot of quality time because I was basically spending the whole weekend in quality time with her. I took her to a figure skating competition. I was driving. Driving still counts as the quality time because I had to do it to get there. Took her to her competition at night, spent all Saturday with her, enjoying her company, and she played with her friends, but I was like away in Smithers to enjoy her skating with her, and then all Sunday driving back. So there's a big long chunk of quality time for that, clearly. But other than that, I'm really focusing on 2 tags in the tools, and I'll talk about the tools in a second. I'm focusing on focused and unfocused. So was the time I spent with my family focused? Was it, a family movie night where I was cuddling with my other daughter last night, one of the ones that was here still? Yes, it was. So that was focused, good time. Was I spending good time with my wife? We sat down here in my office and talked for a while last night. That was good focused time versus unfocused. So I could be watching a video YouTube and have it unfocused time, or I could be watching a video on YouTube and have it focused time, depending on how I approach, if I'm approaching it with intentionality. And my goal over the year really is to have more focused than unfocused time, to recognize that. So I'll be checking in probably weekly at first and then monthly, just to make sure that I'm continuing to stay on track. Now, what are my time tracking tools? First one is going to be, also Firefox Toggl. Toggl is time tracking software. I don't even log in. I'll show you what it is. Toggl Track. Get into Toggl. And so it already lets me see some reports. You can see as this comes up, I can go into my reports. So I can see that this week I spent time creating already this morning, right? So that's even part of this. I'm not running it right now because I forgot to start the timer, but I can go back and do that. Spent time on education, 41 minutes reading this morning. I spent some family time. I walked my daughter to school this morning, right? I can go back and look at last week. Really just, Saturday, Sunday are the 2 days I tracked. I spent some time creating, so researching time tracking tools actually. I spent some time on education. I spent a bunch of time reading on Saturday. And on Sunday, I spent some time Sunday, I spent some time reading. And then on family as well. So that was getting good quality time with my kids. And now I'm also using an app called Timery. This is a iOS, Mac OS tool. Now, if you notice, I'm on Linux, so Timery, but Timery lets me do a lot of automation, so I can pull up my phone and do automation on my tools. I have 2 shortcuts set up, one that stops all my timer, because I'm still going to be billing my time with Harvest, because it does good online online invoicing, which Toggl doesn't really do, but it lets me do save timers and have a whole dashboard. And so what you're seeing right now even is the dashboard I have from my iOS, from my iPad, so that I can look at what time is tracking, and then you can also see the one beside it for my phone, just the kind of the dashboard that I have on my second screen on my iPhone to be able to track my time easily. And just so I know, that's ultimately what it is, so I'm being intentional or not. So even knowing how much time I spend driving back and forth to get people to places, right? I bet that's going to be a surprising amount of time that I probably spend 10, 15 hours a week just driving people back and forth to figure skating and dance, which isn't necessarily bad time, but it's good to know what I'm doing so that we can make better decisions about how we spend our time and even how we spend our money. If we can alleviate some of my driving by spending money on stuff, and so that I have more time to do other things. Instead, if you have been time tracking your life, I'd love to hear about it. I know lots of people do. I've heard CPG Gray talk about it on Cortex, how he time tracks basically everything. And I would like to do better at that. I've even actually looked at for work. Can I see them here? Probably don't have them here. But if I look under my clients, and I have, if I look under my projects, Proud City, I actually will have timing for, I haven't done any tracking for this because I usually work for them Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I'll have time track for focused versus unfocused so that I can look at it and say, hey, was this actual focus time, or were they pulling me away from my work, the focused work, so that I can't really make good progress on the tasks? And then also meetings, just so that I know, and even we know for them as a discussion with them, maybe starting in January, like, hey, I'm spending a lot of time in what I would consider unfocused. I'm getting pulled away from the tasks that I really probably should be doing and into discussions about other things that should be waiting for the end of the day or for our dev meetings, instead of being brought to my attention in the minute asking for an immediate response. That's it. If you got time tracking advice to how to portion it, and that's really the December plan, to figure out how I set it all up. Do I have the project set up right? Do I have the tag set up right? Am I getting the data that is helping me at all? So I've got, but just a good chunk of a month to do that and decide if I'm doing it right. If you like the video though, thumbs up below. If you don't like it, I guess thumbs down, tell me why. Otherwise, you can support the channel by becoming a member, curtismchale.ca/membership, or take a course, curtismchale.ca/education. Have an awesome day.